Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Wandavision Season 1, Episode 8, Previously On, which I'm hoping means we're going to find out what the hell is going on here. I'm excited, I'm stressed, it's going to get very stressful. We know it was Agatha all along, and stress is coming. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon right now. Although I would recommend, if you do want to be amazing and sponsor me on Patreon, if you're able to, I fully understand that not everyone is, I would wait a couple of days just because of the way the payment thing works on Patreon, so you don't get charged a full amount for a couple of days. But yes, let's go. Oof, it's purple like her magic. Ooh, she was in the Salem Witch Shot. Of course she was.
You practice the darkest of magic. I know nothing of these crimes.
I don't believe you. Oh, was that her mother, or is that a title? What did they do? Did she take all of their lifetimes? Is that how she's aged? Stayed alive? Did you really think you were going to be the final straw that was powerful enough? Delightful. What do you want with Wanda? She's a lot older than you, sweetheart. You're going to be stronger than her in the fullness of time. She has tricks up her sleeve.
Nothing? These are runes, Wanda.
She doesn't know about witchcraft.
That was you. No, it wasn't literally me. Just my eyes and ears. A crystal possession. Necromancy.
Ooh.
Starter, since your real brother's body is on another continent.
Ugh.
And of course, there's transmutation.
Did she want to steal Wanda's power, or did she want Wanda to, like, join her?
Years of study to achieve even the smallest convincing illusion.
And Wanda can do it with nothing, because she's just better than you.
I didn't do anything. I'm not.
Oh. She doesn't know!
Endless nothingness. Let's start there.
Oh god. In some ways it'll be helpful for Wanda if she does figure out what the hell's actually going on properly, remembers it, but this is also very brutal.
Fun playing pretend. Did you forget who's got your children stashed away in her bewitched basement?
This bitch. Oh. So he used to sell old sitcoms and things, and they used to watch them as a family. Is that why? That's why she made this. Yeah. That's why she did this. Oh. This is very, very traumatic. Because that was coming. The first time she felt that empty loss inside. Yep. Oh my god. The TV was still playing.
By the end of the episode, you realize it was all a bad dream. None of it was real.
Oh, I'm sorry, my child. This is real. Are they gonna retcon and say she had magic? Is that why the experiment worked with them? Was because they were already witches?
Not one subject has survived.
That's why Wanda survived, and Pietro, they had magic in them already. I love that we're seeing this. awful as it is for Wanda to have to bloody relive it. Who was that? It looked like she had a sort of helmet thingy-majig like Agatha's mother, but I do love we're getting to see this. And it explains her obsession with sitcoms and things.
I need more.
Wanda. I love you, okay? People who thought their romance was rushed or whatever forget that, like, a lot of time passes off screen in the MCU, and especially if you're not a main character, when they were both side characters in the movies they've been in. Oh. She's just lost too much.
What is grief? If not love,
Yeah.
persevering.
Oh god. It hurts because you had the good times and because you loved them.
Sorry, pardon.
No, it was funny.
Yes, it was very funny, wasn't it?
Oh. I love that we're getting to see the foundations of their relationship beyond what we already knew.
Parents dead, brother dead, Vision dead.
Fuck off.
What happened when he wasn't there to
Oh.
call you back? When I came back, he was gone. His body.
I know, my love.
He's here.
Through the doors, down the hall, 2 lefts and a right.
So they made it look like he stormed through the doors.
I got it. Thanks.
When they let her in. I mean, maybe she ran off with his body, but fair enough, you can blame her. Hayward manipulating the facts to make it look like she stormed the facility. When she asked politely, and then just went for it. Oh.
What is this? Why are you showing me this?
Because you asked to see it.
I know, sweetheart. Okay, yeah, they've desecrated him.
Excuse me?
Not everyone has the kind of power
Oh.
to bring their soulmate back online. Forgive me. Back to life.
No, I can't.
This bastard.
The best I can do is let you say goodbye to him here.
The best you could do would at least get them to stop fucking dismantling him while she's saying goodbye. And she snapped, and I do not blame her. Because the way Hayward was dealing with the situation was disgusting. Even if he technically had legal rights or whatnot. Does he want her to bring him back?
Fine.
I'm sorry. Did she leave without the body, or did she come back to steal it? Hayward is just such a bastard. I mean, we knew it, but this is just fracking confirmation. Oh. They were gonna build a house here together. So she had nothing to do with the witness protection person. There isn't even a house there because it was never built. So she did it, but she didn't do it in control. Just years of pain and suffering. She built their house. So Vision is the only part that's not real. He's made from her own love and power. Life is easier if it's one of her sitcoms because nothing truly bad ever happens in them. She deserves only good things.
Should we stay in tonight?
Yeah, I've been to a place where everything's safe. Nothing that bad ever happens. Oh my goodness. Oh god.
It's okay, baby.
Oh.
Let go of my children.
Oh, yes. Your children. Vision.
Mm.
Small little life you've made.
Are you bitter and jealous that you're not that powerful?
Wanda. That makes you the Scarlet Witch.
There we go. No, I do not want to wait a week, okay? Like, can we just have the next one right now? I'll make a deal with you about it if need be. You think? I love that they've sort of retconned a bit, understandably so, that she was always a witch. This bastard that made it seem like she stole Vision's body when she didn't.
There's a little energy directly from the source.
Ready, sir.
Oh my god. Are they going to send Vision in against Wanda, but like his body? Is his consciousness in there anymore? So much for wanting to preserve the vibranium and stop the weapon. That's not Vision, is it? Oh god. Hope this backfires on you, fucking Hayward. Oh, that episode, you know, it was delightful. I really like getting my heart ripped out and stomped on repeatedly. Oh god. I think my absolute favourite part of this episode was getting to fully see Wanda's backstory. Like, I feel like we've had glimpses of it, she's told us about it, but sort of seeing how happy she was with her family and seeing kind of that moment where they were trapped on the table, their parents had just been murdered, seeing her in the Hydra facility actually like getting her full scale of her powers, and I don't mind, like, I love that. It's really funny to me the way they've kind of been like, oh yes, it wasn't just the Hydra experiment, she's got magical powers because she's a witch. But I mean, Doctor Strange was the first one, I think, in the movies that kind of brought in the magical concepts beyond just science and powers, although there will be a scientific explanation behind everything. Magic is just science we've yet to understand, but it's also a bit magic-y. And I don't mind that, you know, it would make sense. It explains why she and Pietro were able to survive the experiment when nobody else did, why they only had 2 working subjects, because they only had 2 people who had magical ancestry. It seems as though witches can only be female, but the blood, the bodies were magical in essence, and so that's how he got powers too. I'm imagining it's why it worked on him. And that's an explanation that works fine for me. I mean, depending on multiverse, you could say they were inhuman too, or you could say that they were mutants. I don't know, but I like that as an explanation. I don't mind it. Sometimes in shows when they retcon things like that, it can be annoying, but I think it does make sense. And even them saying that's why the bomb didn't go off. I mean, you can argue that she managed to cast a spell on it, or you can say that it was genuinely just effective. But the most brutal part of this episode was having to go through all the trauma Wanda's been through all over again. You know, the trauma from her past that we knew about, but then we had to see. And we didn't even see Pietro die. We didn't even see Vision die. We saw the after effects. But just, she has suffered so much as a character, and yet she has stayed so resilient and true and good throughout it. Because even now, even in what she's doing, she isn't doing it to be evil. We saw the moment it happened, and it was a moment of pure pain and loss with a power that she doesn't fully understand the scale of and wasn't fully able to control. Now, yes, ever since, she has been fighting tooth and nail to keep it, but when you see everything she's lost, that is a natural human response of, no, I'm going to keep my family, I'm going to keep this, I'm happy here, this is safe, everything's fine. My heart breaks for her, and oh, I hate Hayward. But sticking with Wanda, then Wanda also had to go through it, and I love seeing that moment between her and Vision where we kind of saw how he was able to make her smile again, or just point out to her that grief is the worst, but the love you felt for that person is why you're feeling the grief, that there is the memory of that good feeling that helps, and it was a lot. I've never been someone that disliked their relationship. I didn't feel it as much as I would have done if it was one that we'd watched happen, but they were both, as I've said many times, in the movies they were sort of, I loved them. I mean, Wanda especially has always been one of my favourite characters since she was in it and she joined our side. I really felt drawn to her as a character, but she was always a side character in comparison with, you know, yeah, she was one of the Avengers, but she wasn't Iron Man or Captain America or one of the original Avengers. So in that sense that she didn't have the story time, and none of them really particularly had much story time over relationships. But I always felt their connection, even though because it was sort of, we saw at the beginnings of it in Civil War, then we saw it in Infinity War, and that was fine with me. And so seeing that it was a real, just seeing how true a connection it was, how they were both a little different, they both didn't quite fit in, but he was just there for her when other people were very busy. I just love it. I love them, and for Wanda to have lost that is heartbreaking. It's one of the things that makes me love Monica, is that she sensed the pain, that Wanda's pain was what caused this, and she is rooting for Wanda right now. She does not want to stop her, she wants to get through to her. Now, I don't entirely know what Hayward what his master plan is. Obviously he hates the Avengers because they let Thanos' snap happen and then they fixed it. I mean, dude, I get that like if you had to live with the world falling apart around you for 5 years and then everything coming back, especially if maybe you like moved on and then, you know, like if there would have been people that fell in love and moved on from the people they'd loved that had died. Like, it's causing chaos twice over, but you can't deny that what they did was, in the long run, fixed. Did you manage to fix it? No. When they failed, they failed. They gave everything they could to stop Thanos. It wasn't like the Avengers said, oh, you know, someone else deal with it today, it's my day off. They all gave everything. They worked together when they've been apart, and he's just an idiot. He's definitely one of those little men that's got power now, and he's like, oh, I'm the greatest. And so his thing of how they did dismantling Vision and trying to say to Wanda, oh, it was just because we can't let this weapon exist, when, okay, sorry, why are you dismantling him 5 years later then? Obviously, and then like I said at the end, they've dismantled him and put it back together. They tried to turn him on to correct the wiring and the mistake, and now they're using Wanda's own energy to bring him back. So what stresses me out with that is that he doesn't have the same colour, like he doesn't seem like Vision. He's the body of Vision, he's like the vibranium Ultron suit thing that was made, but now maybe he is going to be just a weapon. Does he not have the Jarvis elements that were in there that helped humanize Vision? Maybe he's Vision, but he doesn't seem it, which is going to be yet again fucking brutal for Wanda to have to face off against the man she loves, and it'll also be the man she loves that she's created. Now, he can't exist beyond the Hex, but is there going to be some way? Could she put like a field of her power around him always so he gets to exist? Hayward also manipulating the footage he has to make it look as though Wanda stormed the building and took Vision makes my blood boil. We always knew something was off there. I mean, to an extent, it was like, well, yeah, if you were like desecrating someone she loved, I don't blame her for taking him. Even if you could understand the legal arguments of what legally is Vision, does he have human rights, etc, etc. Like, I don't necessarily think anyone that was doing what he was doing would purely be like committing a crime, but the way he acted with her, being like, oh, just let's see, and like kind of going, turning him on, oh, sorry, revive it. Like, he was just a dick about it. He wanted her to lash out. He wanted God knows what. And then I think seeing the scale of her power, he's seen, well, now that's a way we can turn him on. We can revive him. Yeah, I'm stressed about what that's going to do to Wanda. And they were trying to make her seem like the bad guy when really she's just someone that has lost more than any one person should and is suffering. Yeah, you need to get through to her, but like Monica said, if Wanda caused this, she's the solution. Getting through to Wanda, helping her heal, helping her recognise her pain and that you can't run from it by creating a sitcom in which nothing truly bad ever happens. Just finding out why she made the world of sitcoms breaks my soul. Like, it makes so much sense in that sense. Like, you know, oh my god, Wanda, I just want to give her the giantest hug. I've always loved her, but this show has just made me be like, it's not okay, okay? So then finding out that Wanda is apparently chaos magic, that she is using kind of magic beyond even what Agatha can have, and Agatha's all pissed off. She wanted to be the most powerful witch. I'm assuming she wants to somehow get power from Wanda or contain, or, you know, I don't think Agatha is now, after her past in which she was killed loads of witches, I feel like she drew power from them somehow. So does she want Wanda to blast her with her power so she can then do the magic reversey thing and steal Wanda's power and get that for herself? That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Agatha is obviously not a good person. I don't even necessarily think that we're going to defeat Agatha and never see her again in this episode. I don't know if she's going to become like a movie villain, if she's going to be, there'll be a season 2, which will be Wanda, and if it's called WandaVision in season 2, then Vision has to still be around, right? Can Wanda somehow put the Vision she's created into the body that they have revived. That would work for me, and then we could have Vision still, and Wanda could not be alone. And because one thing they didn't mention this, and I get why, is the fact that even the other people she was close to in the time when they were on the run, she was close with Steve and she was close with Natasha, and they are both gone. Steve is around, I guess, technically, but he's an old man somewhere, and Natasha is dead. So she's alone in that sense, and we still don't know who the witness protection person is, and it would be so funny if that was just, oh yeah, he informed on the mob. Like, he has nothing to do with any of this. But that is still a thing that I'm intrigued about, and given that he was the agent with Ant-Man, maybe he does do the kind of Avenger level people, but we'll see. But the fact that that was a home that Vision was going to build for them, and then she did it with her magic. She has magic that kind of scares Agatha. I think it scares and entices Agatha. Agatha wants that magic for herself. I'm stressed about that. I'm stressed about the boys. But the boys exist. They are real. And she was able to create Vision from nothing and create their children from nothing. I'm so intrigued about this. I love Wanda and getting to explore her powers and just how epic she truly is. You know, every time you think you understand the scale of Wanda's powers, the MCU is like, but did you know this? And I love it. So she has shattered my soul yet again. She deserves her own movie. I love that she's going to be in Doctor Strange. I love that everyone has seen all the hexes in the Spider-Man No Way Home title reveal, and saying Wanda might be in that. She deserves her own movie too. Like, I want her in every movie. I love the MCU for the fact that it crosses over so much, but she deserves her own movie as well as a TV show. But this episode was so good. I hate Agatha because she's a bitch. Like, in some ways, yes, someone needed to help Wanda face up to the truth of what's going on, but you don't have to do it while cackling inside. And just I still can't get over the sitcoms were such a huge part of her family, and they're something that have kept her going throughout the years. When she's suffering, she turns to that. I love this, the explanations of so much of Wanda's past with how she survived the Tesseract experiment, and just everything about this show. I love it. Hayward can go to prison for breaking ethics codes or something, really, but he can die, which is what I mean when I say die, you can go to prison. Monica is still in here with Pietro, who's being controlled by Agatha. He's a fake Pietro, but we know that he's a Quicksilver, so he's a Pietro from another multiverse world that was brought here because that was easier than, thank God, doing something awful with the body of real Pietro. But just, I'm intrigued. Is he broken free somehow of the hold? Did Wanda's zap break him free of Agatha's control? And so when he found Monica, did he say, let's work together, she's a really bad witch person in there too? Like, maybe that's what happened, because I could see that Wanda zapped him and then we didn't see him again until the end credit scene. The boys, Wanda's gonna save them, but so much is happening. I'm so stressed, and there's one episode left. Vision was flying home to get to Wanda. Darcy was driving home as well. Stress. I need the next episode right now. So this was an absolutely fantastic episode. As always, you can find the unedited version on my Patreon. If you do want to go to my Patreon, as much as I will love your support, you get charged on when you sign up and on the 1st of the month. So I would wait a couple of days until the 1st of the month. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.